Hello, fellow foreigners. It's Emily and it's Peter, and we're not discovering China because we're already here and we're living it, baby. What does that mean to you?
Well,
That catchphrase, what is it? What do you feel when you hear it?
I feel like it's accurate. I am enjoying oxygen.
It's because I think what I hear it's the best. We've did it. We've done it. We're the best show.
I mean, we're definitely the most fun China vlog there is.
Yeah, we're the best channel. We're the best studio, the best room.
The best human specimens.
Perfect. We're the best together. The thing is, we're not perfect.
No, we're not perfect.
We're always trying to be perfect, and what would help us be perfect is if you subscribe, and if you hit that share, and ring the bell, and do a little dance, and sing our songs, and just tell the world. Tell the world.
It's a perfect day right there.
Yeah, how we're moving things up to the next level of China vlogging. Everyone else, they're down here. Us up here, best. It's that simple.
Sure thing.
What do you got for us today?
So, inspired by current political unrest and John Oliver, I'm registering to vote absentee this year, which I've done before. It's not hard, it's just annoying paperwork. But if you have a China visa, you can do the amount of paperwork required to get your absentee ballot. You just need to start working on it. I mean, for New York State to vote in the November election, it has to be in by sometime in October. So, I don't know, get started.
Always get started. Get ahead of the game.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
When it's almost done if you've already started something.
Yeah.
Whatever that phrase is.
It's halfway over when it's just begun. Is that it? Something like that. But the tripping point this time is the Chinese post office. So here's something I kind of didn't really think about. So the post office in every country, I think, we're lucky to think of it as just a thing that exists. It's
so your president tries to take it away from you.
And yeah, I was gonna say it's usually non-political, except recently it's become very political. But like,
do you think it's because he, just as an aside, he was an 80s guy and there was all those like 80s like terror postmen. It was always like the postman did it kind of thing.
Oh really? I don't remember that.
There was like a whole like.
I'm too young.
Too young for the 80s. That's my theory anyways.
Oh, okay.
He's a scared man. He's a very frightened man.
I don't think he has any reason for it. I think he's just...
For the post.
It came to him in a dream, and so he's acting out like a baby. But I was going to say, so the post office is usually non-political and non-cultural, but it is a problem that different countries solve different ways. So like, for example, when I did study abroad in Spain 20 years ago, I am that old.
You're at least 20.
You would buy stamps. You could buy stamps from the post office, but you also could buy stamps from the local tobacconist or cigarette sellers.
I think you used to be able to. Oh, it sounds like cowboys or something like that.
I know it sounds very.
But we used to like do that like in Western Massachusetts, anyways.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Well, that was like in the 90s. I mean, it was like one tobacconist that like lived in the backwoods or something like that.
Oh, maybe
I would go out
maybe
to. I could pay my rent there. I could do whatever I wanted there. It was an amazing place.
Did you live in China?
Kind of.
But the thing is, so and in all the places, I like to send postcards and letters, even in the age of email. So I know like what a post office box looks like all over the world so far. Except China doesn't have mailboxes on the street. You can't just drop a letter, which I didn't realize till like recently when I was thinking like I just need to drop this. I don't drop things in the mail here, which is like a weird thing to think about.
Yeah.
But they just don't have post boxes on the street. Which is
good for them. I hate those things.
I got really like into that, and you don't care at all. But it's because I spent all day yesterday trying to mail my absentee ballot application, and there was a place across the street that. So, I apologize, but I need to say this. China Post also has a bank branch, so you could go to China Postal Savings Bank. And those are not post office. They are the post office bank. But there is one across the street from us that used to also send mail out. And they still do, but they do no longer send mail to America. So that was a bummer. So I went down to the big post office, who, when I handed her the thing, she was just like, no. In English, she said, no. They don't.
Not going to have it.
They're not sending any packages at all out of that post office, which I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means China Post is no longer sending packages. They're only receiving packages. I don't know how long that would work.
It's not a conspiracy theory that you're starting, but if anyone else...
It's a mystery that I'm...
Someone might know.
Yeah.
If help us. God, help us.
Because we've been getting packages, so it must be possible to send packages.
We just got some cheese from Queens.
Yeah. From America, no less. So I think my next step is to try a private courier service, but I'm baffled as to, like, I was so proud of myself taking the taxi to the post office. I'm like, I know my post office vocabulary so well. And then she was like, I want to send this express to America in Chinese. And she just said, nope. So
well,
that's my trials and tribulations these days. So start working on your applications early, because your post office may no longer be sending packages.
there might not be a post office when you get it to America. So
yeah, I mean,
just get something somewhere.
Start
sending out smoke signals.
Start yelling who you're going to vote for into a bottle and chuck it into the sea. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll throw it into the Yangtze right out our window and just let it float. Hopefully it'll get somewhere.
Let it pollute those rare dolphins
poor
that
dolphins.
are endangered.
What else we got?
You ready to play a game?
What?
Yeah, it's the game where we imagine little stories based on the sentences I learned in my life.
And then make fun of them.
Yeah, and make fun of them.
Or try to solve them.
Yeah.
In a funny way.
Well, this one's not the solver. You want to hear it?
No.
观众很高兴. And that is, the audience is very happy.
Oh.
That's what every performer likes to hear. And it actually did.
But we still have to solve who would say this.
So I have
Okay.
a proposal. When I lived in my parents' home when I was a child.
Is that how that works?
When I was young, when I was a teenager, when I was in high school, all these times,
Narrow it down.
I worked with my local community theater as a stage crew, as a backstager. And, you know, it was fun. But one of the things that is like...
Tell us more about it. How good was it?
Oh, it was so good. There were lemon squares at intermission that... Oh.
Lemon squares.
But, and seriously, folks. I mean, seriously, there were good lemon squares. But, so you'd go give the call, like, 10 minutes, blah, blah, blah. And there would... Actors always are like, how's the audience? How's the audience? And, like... You always want to tell them the audience is very happy. Oh, they're lively today. It's a full one. It's an excited one. There's energy up.
I can imagine for like Children's Day, which we just had.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stage presentations. I don't know about this year. Maybe not this year.
We didn't do one.
But usually, there's a whole like people are preparing for days, weeks, and the
for
kids
Children's Day, they do recitals.
I like the idea of like one of your kids.
Children love coordinated.
I like the idea of one of your kids actually backstage going like, the audience is good. They're looking.
Yeah, a little scooter comes by. Scooter the Muppet. I mean, hey kids, 5 minutes, places.
How's the audience out there?
Oh, the audience is very happy.
Oh, good.
Break a leg.
Break a leg, everybody. Red leather, yellow leather.
So,
I mean, in the world of the theater and performance, I feel like how's the audience is a question you want to be able to answer with. The audience is very happy.
Right. So that could be anybody backstage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could have asked you that before the show started.
Yeah, you could have, except that we're not live, so the audience is dead. That's the opposite of live.
What else we got?
Number 2. 他买了10年的彩票，却从来都没中过奖。I feel like my Chinese is getting worse.
It's because you decided not to go with that master you
Yeah,
talked about last time.
He got all in my head. His specialty was like 普通话 specific pronunciation, and he got all in my head about like I don't say anything right.
That's why he's a master.
That's why he's a master. Yeah, so he really shook my confidence. I'm not going with him as a teacher. He's good at what he does. He's just not the right teacher for me.
Yeah.
But this sentence
Oh, shit.
means he's been buying lottery tickets for 10 years, but he's never won. Which is, I feel like, doesn't come up that often, but there's probably a specific person in your life where you're like, oh, he buys a lottery ticket every day.
Yeah.
He's never won.
There's always that guy in town,
Yeah,
especially if you
yeah.
live in a small town. But
Yeah.
like, he's the guy that's at the back of the bar. He's at the back of that general store where you can buy a stamp and pay
Oh
your
yeah,
rent. and
he's hanging out doing scratchers.
that's who that guy is.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I never understood that game.
The lottery?
Yeah.
As a game, that game?
It's not fun. No one. I mean, I guess you get like a little rush out of it. From
Yeah. Well,
your
they
little
do
scratch.
say that gambling addicts get like a dopamine rush that people who aren't gambling and maybe addiction in general, like they get this extra dopamine rush that people who are non-addicts do not get. So it's not that you're better than addicts. It's just that doesn't happen in you. And yeah, I think both you and I just don't get that rush out of
from that. Yeah.
from
like,
that in particular.
It's I mean,
Which don't think you're better than anyone just because you don't buy lottery tickets.
I do.
You do buy lottery tickets, or you
I
do
think
you're...
I'm better than people that buy
okay.
lottery. No.
Shots fired.
No, I think you would have to have a healthier respect for money than we do. We don't.
Well, here's the thing specifically about lottery and gambling. Unless you're
send
like
your money too.
Yeah, send your money to us, and maybe we'll send you a prize. That Uncle Foreigner is pivoting into Uncle Foreigner Casino and Fun Times.
Yeah, we'll send
Saloon.
you a selected gachapon.
I don't really know what a gachapon is.
You don't need to know.
Don't tell me.
It'll be a free prize.
Oh, okay. But anyway, no, because mathematically, the lottery and non-skills-based gambling is not in your favor. It is. You'd be better served setting your money on fire.
If I was some kind of
You'd be better served on getting a tutor to teach you about probability and statistics.
Yeah. If there was I mean, because you had a teacher, a professor or something that was like a master number runner or something like that.
Oh, no, my math teacher in high school and his sons are very good at poker because they spend a long time like strategizing about the statistics.
So that's a game.
One of them wrote a book about it. Maybe I'll link it, Matt Matros, in the comments.
That's you're making something out of that.
Yeah, if there are games of skill.
Yeah, the idea of going to the Quickie Mart and scratching off a ticket and like 40 of them or something like that. Just
Yeah.
I mean, think of how much material it takes to waste your footprint.
Now you're shaming them for environmental destruction as well as math innumeracy.
Coming at you from all angles like a buzzard.
Shame. Yeah, but I do feel like the people who are into the lottery are into it, and there's 10 years with no win. I think what they think is next time's my time, but probabilistically next time's not your time either.
I mean, that really is the bottom line.
A little educational.
For me, I'm just a loser. Like I could not possibly imagine winning like $100. It sounds like insane to me.
So you buy into luck just the opposite.
Yeah.
Your luck is so bad that you wouldn't win the lottery.
Well, more so that
so still enumerate.
More so that the odds are just against you no matter what. So why would you even I mean, that's money.
That's more philosophical than mathematical, but go on.
Well, I'm not mathematical. And we might not have a big respect for money, but we do like it, and what I earn and get and have, I want to keep or use for the right purposes. Mostly action figures and guitars.
Your biggest expenses
action figures. Or equipment and stuff like that. So that I don't want to just throw it away. Like, if there's a better chance that I'm going to get a new keyboard,
yeah,
or I'm going to lose it, which
yeah.
if I'm going to scratch
we're playing
off cards,
the
then
lottery of success in the arts and entertainment industries.
which is, I mean, you play the lottery in life. Look, you get born,
yeah,
you get handed a card,
yeah.
You're gonna die at some point. You're all losers.
You better play your cards.
Yeah.
That's on metaphor, I guess.
Possibly. We're really into I heard a good one the other day that I hadn't really thought of in a long time, but like something, if you meet the Buddha on the road, kill the Buddha.
Okay.
I guess that means that if you find the master and you take over their job, like that's the only way to like get one up in life.
Is that how Buddha-dom works? Like the Highlander?
Yeah.
You sure that wasn't the Highlander?
There can be only one Buddha.
Now I am the Buddha.
Ramirez.
I've been doing all this meditating to get enlightened. All I need to do is go murder someone who's already enlightened.
And he's a big guy. He can't run away. It's probably pretty easy.
Yeah, but he's really tall in some instances.
Right? Is he got like monster powers?
Yeah.
Buddha over the horizon.
He's a guy.
If you meet Buddha, run.
To mix up our cultures.
Right. He's got a little face on his chest. Yeah, I don't know.
I think we got.
We're talking crazy. What do we got?
好大的鱼缸, which is such a big bathtub.
Ooh.
And
wow. I want to be involved in this conversation, first of all.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that one.
In a world in China where there isn't a lot of bathtubs.
Yeah, we've never had a bathtub in
We
any
had
of our
one, our first one, but it was too scary to go in.
Oh, that's right. I was sure that thing was going to fall through the floor.
Even though it was a concrete floor.
Yeah, I was
just, I mean, it wasn't
positive.
really, most of the bathtubs, like we like, you go to a hostel or something like that, and that's like the whole like money, like we found one that has a bathtub.
When we go to the loft in Chengdu, when we go to Chengdu, we stay at the loft. They have rooms with bathtubs, and
like
I
one or two, but they're still like they're just like the toilets. They're like a plastic bin. It's like buying one of those big buckets for a human, and then like because you sit on the side and it's like you tip the whole thing over and the water splashes out across the bathroom. So it's a bit of a danger, but
well, and I like the idea that it is just a big old bucket of water you can sit in, and it just drains out onto the bathroom floor because the drain is in the bathroom floor. It's not connected to the bathtub.
It's a beautiful system if you're into cleaning.
Yeah,
you just mop that right up.
And at a hostel, I'm not the one who's mopping. So,
So bring on the human bucket.
I bought a new mop yesterday.
True
story.
So a big one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be a pretty. We looked at some posh apartments a while back. I don't remember if they had any. They had really nice bathrooms. I don't remember if they had.
Although a lot of them
tubs.
had the like windowed bathroom, which is like.
Oh, the one where you see through into the.
Yeah, which
right.
We have one of our bathrooms. You can check out Peter Vlogs. Has one wall is full windows.
Yeah.
And.
It's a thing.
I can't get into.
I mean,
that
that's
again.
the best hotels have that.
Yeah.
But I mean
But yeah, these fancy apartments would have like these windowed bathrooms.
I like the ones like a bathroom or a shower with like a window to the outside, especially if you're like on the 26th floor or something.
I like to look outside.
And there isn't like another building right next to you or something, but like that nature look.
Yeah.
Outside is always again a really posh thing. To get your hands on.
There's when Google Earth was first taking pictures around the world and people were like staging funny pictures. The lead singer for
No Doubt.
No.
Bush.
Do you realize?
Oh yeah. Flaming Lips.
Yeah. I was gonna say Psychedelic first, not that.
Flaming Lips.
I was also gonna say Fountains of Wayne because Wayne Coyne is his name, but it's a different fountain. It's a different Wayne. He got his picture on Google Earth in a bathtub in his front yard.
Nice.
So that's such a big bathtub and so public.
And that was like before Instagram days and influencing and.
Well, it's one like of course you can take a picture of your bathtub if you want, but that's no big deal. If you get a satellite belonging to a major company that's taking over the digital world to take your picture in your bathtub, I think that's pretty cool. Unless you did not consent.
Well, yeah. I mean, how did he plan it? What was the?
I guess he knew the satellite's schedule, or he just stayed in the tub in the front
waited,
yard for
pruned
like
up.
48 hours. It's gotta come by soon.
But was it big?
Well, it was a normal size bathtub.
Was he big?
Yeah, he's a big man. Actually, I don't know. Wayne Coyne, if you're listening, how big are you?
Tune in next time to How Big is Wayne Coyne?
But I like the admiration, not just, oh, it's a big bathtub, but like, such a big bathtub.
I mean, at what point does it become a jacuzzi? That is a jacuzzi. That's
I don't
the,
know.
that's
Is
the
there a
bubble one, right?
technical definition?
I don't know. A lot of those, like,
Plumbers, right in. Right to Wayne Coyne. We're only taking messages through Wayne Coyne today.
a lot of those, like, really fancy music videos where people have lots of bling will, like, have big bathtubs with bubbly
With jets.
jets, you know,
Yeah.
filled with Lady Gagas and
Yeah.
things.
My parents have a Lady Gaga.
One Lady Gaga?
No, they have one of those jacuzzi tubs in their bathtub.
Is it big?
It is.
Oh, well, then there we go. Let's go back to your house.
Everybody, come on over. No, stay at home, stay distant.
Yeah. In these troubled times.
Stay away from my parents.
Stay away from your parents.
Stay away from parents.
Unless you live with them.
Still stay away.
Yeah. You could say hi from across the couch.
Yeah. But yeah, so if you've got a big bathtub, take a picture of it and post it to our Instagram.
That's a good idea.
Or tweet us. Tweet us with your pictures of big tubs or something.
Send it somewhere and attach Hello Uncle Foreigner. Subscribe to it.
Put down our whole spiel. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, all right.
你想买可乐吗? And that's, do you want to buy a cola?
I do sometimes.
Sometimes you do. But this is like, so I picture this, and I'm surrounded in my life. Most of my interactions are with children, so you'll forgive me if I always think these are things you should say to a child. Because, like, I'm not going to ask you, do you want to buy a cola?
You just did. Now I want a cola.
But no, I'm not offering to get you one.
Right.
But I feel like this. You're on a trip to a store with a kid who has some pocket money. When we were,
You're assuming that, like, if we were at a restaurant, I would say I want a cola. You don't need to.
you don't buy the. I mean, eventually you pay for the meal, but you're not like, waiter, I would like to buy a cola.
One cola, please. This is again back at that general store.
Yeah. I think you've got someone by the hand and they've got a crisp new note in their hands, and you're like, do you want to buy a cola? The problem with this,
How much does my head weigh?
is you should not be giving caffeine to children.
Yeah.
So the follow-up is, well, too bad, it's not good for you.
So this is a clerk or a teacher?
In my mind, it was a caregiver.
Aha.
I mean, if you're a caregiver
caregiver.
to a grown-up who has maybe cognitive problems, you're suggesting things they might want to buy. Do you want to buy a cola?
Right.
Do you want to buy this horse toy?
The clerk, I suppose.
Do you want to buy some fake vomit?
I like the scenario of a clerk and a normal human being, a regular.
This is just the human who walks in the door and goes, "Do you have any China in here?" No, do you want to buy a cola? This
like
is
that
a
one
scene
too.
that's developing.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, I mean, I was thinking of like just a customer
Okay.
and a clerk just standing there. And then
Maybe-
finally
I
the
guess
clerk
if
is
they're
just like, would you like to buy a cola?
Maybe the customer is standing in front of the soda machine, the soda fountain.
Well, but that'd be too obvious.
But why cola? That's not my... If you come into a bodega, the first thing... What are you there for? I guess often I am there to buy a cola.
Yeah, usually that's a big ticket item. A cola.
A cola, yeah.
I mean, the kids love it. The adults love it. People with hangovers love it. People with headaches love it. People that just need a rush.
Yeah, people that love that sticky sweet.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's got to be a big draw. Maybe that's just a really obvious thing at any kind of bodega anywhere
Yeah.
on the planet.
Yeah.
Cola? Yeah.
I thought of an alternative scenario, though.
Okay.
Is this, between two grown-ups. If you're going out shopping and I'm, like, working at home or for some reason not going with you.
Okay, where are you?
I'm on the couch. You're walking out the door to the supermarket.
Set this up for me.
I'm doing my Chinese lessons.
Okay.
And you walk out the door. You're on your way out the door. You've got our reusable bags. You got your mask on because you need the mask to go to the grocery store. And I call out to you, oh, do you want to buy cola? And you're like, nah, we got some. Or nah, I'm not buying any.
Do you want to buy a cola? Or do you want to buy me a cola? Or are you going to buy a cola?
Yeah.
All those they sound better than do you want to buy a cola to somebody walking out a door?
Well, I mean, in the Chinese, there is no there's no.
That's where we're getting to. This is that real healthy Chinese learning that you tune into for.
So if I was gonna do you want to buy a Coke? Do you want to buy some cola? Do you want to buy cola? I mean, to get into the weeds here of the Chinese, it ends with a ma, which is a yes or no question. I would have to end it with a different particle if I was making a suggestion to you. If I was like, do you want to buy a cola? Ba.
I see. Continue.
Yeah, so that's if I'm like, oh, hey, did you want to get cola? Ta-da.
I see.
Well,
I mean, this is a lot of talk about cola, and I'm not really sure I want cola anymore. You may have talked me out of it.
Well, what I appreciate about this sentence is it keeps it brand-free. Cola is just cola in Chinese.
Uh-huh.
But our next sentence.
Okay.
From a different source.
Okay.
这不是喝可可cola 的地方，是茶馆。Which is, this isn't a place to drink Coca-Cola. It's a tea house.
Oh.
Which.
Well, now we have to go back to the first one.
This brings in the brand.
Now we have to go back to the first one. It wasn't happening in a bodega at all. It was a tea house.
Well, if these two are together,
they have to be.
Then who's asking you? Do you want to buy cola? If it's your waiter, and then they come back with, this isn't a place for drinking Coke. They're just messing with you.
A canonical.
And I like
series.
I like the idea that you're so clueless about where you are. Like, again, the person who walks into the store. Got any China in here? Sir, this is a Wendy's.
There's no tea.
There's no China. There's no tea.
Does Wendy's have tea, do you think?
I bet they do. I bet they have like sweet tea or iced tea.
Isn't that their thing? It's like they have like old-timey square burgers and Frosties. You gotta have an iced tea or something like that.
But I think most
some
soda
kind of Wilford Brimley type
include
character.
an iced tea as well. In America, anyway. Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah.
Not a good tea though. Not a Chinese tea.
Not a Chinese tea. Well, and this is not just drink some tea. This is you're in a tea house. So you're ordering the wrong thing at the tea house.
What if you brought a cola? Is that disrespectful?
Well, I guess that's where this sentence if you're with a jerk and you pull out your own tea that you brought.
Kind of cola jerk?
Yeah. No, I mean the person who's correcting you. Hey, don't drink Coke. This is a tea house. Because the tea house doesn't mean don't. Tea house. I'm getting stuck.
Yeah, if you were invited by somebody to go out for tea,
and you brought your own
Coke.
Coke.
Yeah, that would be, or even ask for one probably. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not like let's just put it in the scenario that we're familiar with, that we're foreigners. We've been asked to go out to a tea house. I mean, it is just tea. It's just water.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a version of hot water, or maybe there's a certain kind of flour or something that's put into it. But like, it's not like going out to hot pot and someone throws a rabbit head in your lap. Like I can say no to brains. And
you're saying you don't be picky, just drink some tea.
Just drink some tea.
Just drink the damn tea.
Yeah. I mean, cola's not that great anyways. Occasionally it's nice, but you wouldn't like risk any kind of like international problem
I
with
the one issue with tea that someone might genuinely have is caffeine, but then like why are you drinking a Coke?
Right.
No excuses there.
Right. This is more of a sugar thing.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, they could put in some of those. They got those nice rock sugar cubes.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean, there's two cultural things I would bring up. One, that the Chinese hospitality is such that I don't think anyone, if a person invited you out to tea, I don't think they would correct your behavior unless you're like super good friends, I guess. But if this was like, I'm showing you a cultural moment and you did it wrong, they wouldn't come out and say like, this isn't a place for drinking Coke. They would find like a gentle way.
I've certainly never been scolded.
Or they'd have
I've been teased a little bit. I feel like in meals of like.
Maybe you'd get teased.
Yeah.
Maybe you'd get teased.
Yeah, that's a neighborly
And
jostle.
I also feel like if you ask for Coke at a tea house, there is a chance they'd go next door and buy you a Coke.
Definitely.
Not everyone, but there is a lot of like.
No, everyone. That's what in China everyone has to go next door and buy you a Coke.
Some might say, "Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have any," but there would be some who would say, "Oh, okay, yeah," and then they'd send the boy over to get some Coke.
Except for Burger King, they don't seem to be able to supply whatever you want.
Burger King.
They're terrible.
Everyone's brand new employee today. That's the Luzhou Burger King at Wanshanhui that we're digging on.
Probably all Burger Kings.
Maybe all.
It's not a quality joint.
Hashtag not all Burger Kings.
In these troubled times.
In these troubled times. Burger King's not doing well.
Yeah. What else we got? We're running low.
Uh-oh. Well, then that's it.
That's it? That's all we have?
Noodles to you.
Pro and anti-China YouTubers. You two are amazing, you know. Just the way you talk. I'm not like that with anybody.
What are you going to do now? What are your plans for the future?
I've thought about this quite a lot. I don't want to sell anything, buy anything, or process anything pro or anti-China as a YouTuber.
Oh, really?
I don't want to sell anything bought or processed or buy anything sold or process anything bought, sold, or processed or repair anything sold, bought, or processed that is pro or anti-China as a YouTuber. I don't know. I can't figure it all out tonight, so I'm just going to hang out with my Chinese friends.